Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the 1XOA experiences. So, due to the recent developments in the American politics, I thought it would be a good and provocative idea to try and play some democracy trees. So, this is probably the first real playthrough that I'm going to do with democracy because I never really played the game until now. I've been very interested in it, but I never got the time to play it or to get into it, and rather to truly understand it. So I guess this is the greatest moment to do it, and why else? So let's just start. We're gonna start a new game, and we're gonna pick the United States of America. So the United States is a federal republic consisting of 50 states. The USA is the third largest country by land area and population, and is also the world's largest national economy, with an estimate of 19% of the total global GDP when measured by purchasing power parity. The country accounts for 39% of global military spending, despite containing only 4.46% of the global population. The US President acts as both head of state and head of government, as well as the commander-in-chief of the United States Armed Forces. So by now, I believe that Democracy 3 came around 2013, 2014, something like that. I don't really remember, but it's been a while, so some of these numbers are probably not accurate, I would say. And so I'm going to face this game as a presidency that, like, basically the current Trump presidency that's going around since 2016, and the first elections we're going to have in the game will be the representative of the elections the United States are going through right now. So let's just start the game. So I'll pick a party name. So at the moment, Republicans are in charge. Term of land for years. Hurricanes, earthquakes. I don't know so much about earthquakes in the United States, but whatever. And the Democrats are the opposing party. Okay, term limit 2, as it should be. Difficulty regular, innate socialism 100%. I'm not so sure about this one. In the United States, they're not very socialist. Liberal, sure. Political apathy 58%. Sounds kinda high to me, given that the United States population is actually, they seem to be very interested in politics, so whatever, let's just go with the default settings. Yes, so play. Buying votes, yes, enjoying lobbyist hospitality. Congratulations on your election victory. Welcome to your new job as president. The lives of 316 million citizens are now at your hands. As you imagine, there are a number of situations and concerns that you will need to deal with as soon as possible, while keeping an eye for the long-term improvement of our citizens' quality of life. Plus, do not forget that you face re-election in 4 years, so we'll need to monitor the opinion polls and the party membership. Good luck. So at the moment, the GDP of the United States is not the greatest. Unemployment is rather bad, but not terrible. Health is awful, but that's the first thing I'm going to address. That's something I intend to have fun with this playthrough, is to try and have the health service of the United States being mostly public. So I'm not going to end the private sector, but I'm going to reduce the importance of the private sector and see how the game reacts to having the United States mostly dealing with public health. Crime, as one can imagine, rather high. Education is high too, and the poverty is trailing the line between what is acceptable and what isn't. So let's just begin the term of office. For those of you unaware of how Democracy 3 works, that might also be me. So what happens is that each one of these blue circles interconnects with other blue, red, or green circles, and the green arrows means a positive influx, and the red arrows means a negative influx. And the faster the arrows are going means the importance or not the consistency but the intensity of such influx. So, for example, oil demand can be affected negatively by the white bubbles. White bubbles are policies, so this is something you can actually play around with. You can look at the cost history of this policy, you can move it around, and you can see how it's going to affect other. Cancel policy. Yes, I want to cancel this policy. So, and you can see how it's going to affect the other small bubbles. Like the red ones are things that the situations that you should address immediately, or at least that you should pay very close attention. The red ones are actually positive situations. So, for example, if you compare the United States with most economies in the world, like, they have a serious technological advantage, and that is due to a great productivity, good technology, somewhat decent GDP, and the policies of the space program and the creationism versus evolution. So if you can see, if you play, like, both systems are being taught right now, but if you play probably like to the right, they're gonna give an emphasis in evolution, which is going to increase the liberal population attachment to us, and it's going to decrease the religious one. So pretty much the game works like this. So you play with sliders. These sliders mainly have some cost, and they'll probably have some income in the future. Let me just see. Oh, the horror demand. Oh, I canceled the politic. So this is actually getting more positive right now. But I'm pretty sure the environmentalists are going to be very upset with whatever. We're acting like Trump for the following 4 years, so we don't care about that. But let's play some, like a not a democratic Trump, because basically the United States, they're old. Now let's just pick up the state health service. So, although many citizens would be happy to pay privately for their own health treatment, there is an argument that the state has a duty to provide a minimum level of free health care for everyone, regardless of income. Totally agree with that. So, this is for changes. Because I canceled the policy, I can't act on it right now. Now, whatever. So, at least we're going to get an increase in oil demand, which I'm pretty sure it's gonna be a positive influx on GDP. So that's actually okay, but we still have 9 political power, and political powers can be used to implement policies and or to remove and or to alter this policy. So high, medium, what I've told already. So just revert change is okay, because we don't want to mess with the population right now. So what we have? Antisocial behavior. This is a weird one, because I'm not so sure. Like vandalism, public nuisance, petty street crime, these are all results of antisocial lootism behavior that has become commonplace in our streets. Yeah, this is a weird one. Like, antisocial behavior. How can you end antisocial behavior? Like using police force, maybe? Because antisocial, I get it that they're connecting antisocial behavior with petty crime, but like, antisocial behavior is usually more of a psychological term for people that don't like to go out in public. So, and not helped by insufficient level of police on the streets. So we have like not private, where are the police force? Yes, here. So every government needs to employ force to ensure that order is kept and laws are obeyed. Yes, that makes sense. That what should we do? Probably like increase the spending on police force might address behavior, and it can, like, okay, environment. Like I'm not sure how increasing the police force is going to increase the crime, but I guess we'll see about that. So we're gonna have more state employees, of course, if we're going to increase the number of police force policing the streets. That should happen, and we're gonna get a boost in conservative approval rating. So that's cool. Unemployment, I'm not sure how, like, for if now here's the thing about this game, that some things don't make immediately sense. So if you're going to increase the number of state employees, oh, maybe I'm just reading this wrong. So there you go. Probably this is probably going like this is the curve. No, yeah, sure. We'll see. Like so, let's check. Antisocial behavior at 29 and gonna be minus 45. So I believe that minus 45 is actually positive. Not positive because it doesn't go around 50%, but I guess that the biggest is warriors, the better the game is. Sure. Well, so I got 5 with cool power. Let's see if there's any policies we need to, if we can implement. So I mean, we don't want clean energy subsidies. They're acting like Trump. So city farms. Many people would love to buy fresh. Yes, I'm sure they would. So plastic. Well, let's talk about taxes, because we also it's not just about spending money. We need to get money back too. Plastic bags and like paper ones are not biodegradable, so can last more or less for potentially ending up in huge unsightly landfill sites. So that's true. Like the thing is that this is actually something that has been implemented in Europe. And like most people were very afraid at the time that this is going to increase unemployment, because some of the factories that already produce the bags are going to they're going to go bankrupt because now they don't have a business. And then that actually proved to be the opposite, because now supermarkets still sell bags, like plastic bags and paper bags, and like a mix of both. Like they have a very special name that I don't recall how do you say it in English, but those are actually very expensive plastic bags in very high quality. In fact, it turned from being very cheap, very thin bag that would rip immediately, and they have been replaced by high quality bags that actually can have multiple uses. So I know the popularity is pretty much the same here, so most people were not thrilled with the idea of having to pay for the bag, but now it's just a normal situation. So people can understand that bags are really terrible for the environment, and they would gladly pay 10 to 12 cents for the bag. But that's actually a bag they can use multiple times, and there's not really a problem anymore. So I believe that yes, having a plastic bag tax, it's actually really good, because not only does it help end low quality bags that those would definitely be in just one use, and they will help develop other industries that would produce high quality bags. So that's, I mean, for sure, it might be unpopular right now, but later, if you think on the line, if you think on the long term, I'm sure that this is going to be very popular. I mean, this is not only popular; it's actually necessary. And here's the thing about the time when, I know that this is about the United States, and I believe that I'm not sure this policy exists in the United States. Really, I'm truly not sure. I know that in Europe it does, and we're pretty much used to it. And it's actually a good one. Yes, you can say, well, capitalists just see this as state meddling. Well, it might be so. But it's actually good. It's actually good. This is the kind of good state meddling, because it not only it stops the single-use plastic bags from ruining the environment, but also they also help develop like new industries and they gave new jobs to people, unlike what was expected. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to try it and implement this policy. Yes, so we're gonna. The first cost, it's going to be about 160 million per quarter. Cost is there is none, so this is like the first time that we are going to yes, they're going to establish this tax, and it's going to be unpopular, so that's okay. I'm probably not going to ruin. I don't want to ruin this equilibrium between the environmentalists and the capitalists. This is not the target groups that I'm going for, at least not at the moment. It's just like some general policies, and I believe that if we apply, that's going to apply changes. And now that is probably somewhere around here. Now let's see, where are the environmentalists? See, now the plastic bag tax appeared here. Like, it wasn't here first. So this is it's pretty much like, since we haven't skipped a turn, I'm pretty sure that the black arrow just means that it's not having any effect at the moment. But well, let's go to the next turn and try to see what happens. So what I'm expecting to happen is that the arrow that connects to the environmentalists is going to turn green, and the one that connects to the capitalists is going to turn red. So this is the first quarter of our 4-year presidency, so let's see what happens. Credit rating downgraded. Oh. The major international credit agencies have downgraded the status of your government's debt. This is likely to have a knock-off effect on the GDP as foreign companies become wary of investing in our economy. It also results in the interest rate we pay on our debt rising. There is a good chance this will upset your capitalist voters too. Sure. You should take action to regain credibility. Your rating is BB. So I don't see a problem with that. It's the first quarter, so... Oh, economic forecast. Good news. Global economy is doing well, and thus it's having a positive effect on our GDP. If you see, our debt is actually... not, I mean, we didn't spend as much as probably were expecting, maybe because of the back taxes. So it actually clubbed the debt in here, and our expenditure kept on the average line of what was expected, and the income actually rose. So our state income is raising, and the global economy is raising too. So we should probably take, like, okay, our relative GDP has actually went down as our interest rates have went up. So okay, so let's see, income. Oh, see, plastic bag is already bringing money in, so it's like it's bringing 900 million, 0.1%. So I think I'm gonna have to reduce some of these taxes. Like, the income tax surely needs to go down because it's way too much if we want to increase our economy. Okay. I haven't finished reading the report. So, budget report. Okay, BB, this is a bad sign. This is rates of interest we pay on our debt. I must address this, sure. The polls do not look good. Our last polls put us at 36% voting in the election at first quarter, so it's okay. The cabinet report, the lawyers have been described as loyal. Okay, and it's good. The Church of Christ are holding town hall meetings to express anger at the current government. Okay, so yes, the game actually has some intelligence briefing, and there's some groups that can be dangerous and all that. Let's not worry about this at the moment. So let's see about how the tax bag actually worked. So okay, So yes, like as we predicted, the tax bag is actually bringing a green influx on the environmentalists, and is taking a toll on the capitalist side of our electorate. So that was to be expected. That's actually cool. Democracy is a very cool game, and it's actually a very deep game that you can just dive into, look for new policies, try to play around with. But you just don't take a hard approach on anything. But I'm gonna do what I've always wanted to do, which is pick up the state health service, and I'm just going to increase the spending on state health service to excellent. I know this is gonna be messy, but it's just, I need to do this. I need to do it to see how it is. And so, given that we only have 8 political power now, and I'm pretty sure that I don't need to move my, like, as long as they're loyal to me, I don't have a problem, and I don't want to spend capital on firing and hiring. So, I'm just gonna look for new policies. This is how much money they have. So we are spending 1,272 billion, and the income is of 1,205 billion. I'm not sure if I want to spend a lot more on that, but like, we need to act, and we need to start. Okay, so let's start by looking at transport initiatives. We have telecommuting, work from home is seen as desired because reduce personal transport to companies supporting this option. That's cool. Yes, sure. If we have the COVID situation at the moment, then this would be great. Carpooling. Why can't I? Oh, insufficient capital. Okay. This is a good one, but does it truly have any effect? Carpooling campaign, sharing cars is something that people don't do for the environment. They do those for themselves because they can save money. So this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Well, in order, community policing. Well, no, this is bad. You don't want vigilantes roaming the streets. Race. Prevent citizens being discriminated against purely on the basis. Yes, sure, this is okay-ish. It doesn't add anything to the game that I can see. Maybe it increases the popularity with minority voters. This would probably make way more sense for the United States. So the very militaristic, for sure. This doesn't. What? Witness protection program, public service, free eye tests. Oh, this is something y'all need. Definitely, y'all need some healthy eating campaign. Keep the country tidy. That's sure, that's cool. Free parenting classes. I can see that being bad. Social Justice Foundation. That reduce the worst problems of the poor and the underrepresented in our country. And give them a better feel. Stamp out the racism week. If I'm kinda rude, I would rather do just the Race Discrimination Act. Would make way more sense than that. So why would you do a campaign when you can just pass a law that I don't know. So compulsory foreign language classes. This will actually be very interesting, and this is great for education. I don't agree with this one. So tax, junk food tax. Oh, popularity 8%. Yes, but then that would bring an incredible amount of money into the coffers. Health food subsidies. Yes, but what's the point of subsidizing health food if if people clearly want junk food? Enterprise investment scheme. The enterprise investment scheme is a system which gives tax breaks to wealthy individuals who invest their money in small startups. Yes or no? This would be very, very expensive, actually. recreational drug tax, automation tax. No, this would probably just hammer down the economy of the United States if we do this. Like most probably the great companies and the industrial arm of the USA would probably just go away to other countries and where this tax doesn't apply. So while in theory this would bring a lot of money, it would probably do more harm than good. So, I mean, work safety law is okay-ish, I guess. Business startup campaign. I like that. So labor bank, city farms, entrepreneur scheme, foreign policy, diplomat. No. And I don't wanna mess much with the economy right now because it's going down. So, alcohol awareness campaign. I mean, this wouldn't make a lot of sense because alcohol consumption goes up and down according to a lot of situations. It doesn't have to be necessarily economic. It could be social. It could I'm just probably go to the law and order and pass the Race Discrimination Act. It's not very expensive and it might have a great impact on our popularity with voters. See, so like liberals are not necessarily our main demographic, but as much as we can get, that's fine for me. And what do you get for the money you spend is actually rather good. So. And we still have 6 political powers, so let's try to mess with some small politics before we go and end the next quarter. So let me see. That penalty is something I don't want to touch. So what? Homelessness, unemployment benefit. I'm pretty sure, yes, you can move this one because actually very important policy. Property tax is very low. So I don't think I would like to mess with that because it's going to increase how unpopular we are. Military spending is off the charts in these games. It's pretty much all the money you can have, like just straight into the military. I wouldn't say that. Is obesity truly a problem in the United States as much as they say it is? I'm sure I can have a bit of. I mean, the food standardizations can just. Yes, sure. Let's gonna apply the changes to this one and see what happens. So 4. I don't believe there's anything else that we can mess with 4. Handgun? No, I don't want to touch on handguns though, because this is actually total. Oh, you can ban. I mean, if it was me, I wouldn't meddle with it. So I just let it be like this. Before changes. Okay. I still don't want to take them over because they can get them guns. Now let's see how this quarter goes. Fiddling ministerial expenses. Okay, child labor law. So there's an urgent policy question that requires your immediate attention. Too many of our younger citizens are leaving school early in order to take up low-paying jobs. Some are even skipping school to work full-time when they should be learning. The law is currently very weak with regards to preventing companies from employing under 16s in full position. This proposed law would make it a criminal offense to knowingly employ someone under the age of 16 for more than 5 hours a week. So from what I've read, like just on the vertical side, for me this doesn't make a lot of sense. For example, if I leave the law unchanged, which is what I would do, because I don't believe there's a correlation between kids having part-time jobs and dropping out on school. I did that for years. And I finished my master's degree while working at the same time, full time actually. And I was like 24 when I did it, so I started working when I was 16, I think. So this is personal. But okay, so this law is unnecessary. The children who are skipping school are unlikely to be those who pay attention in class anyway. This totally makes no sense at all. And they are contributing to the economy by working instead. So, like, if you look at this with the dichotomy, like a dichotomy like this, so those who are taking jobs at 16, they don't even care about schools anymore now. That's totally wrong, completely wrong, actually. And we are running the risk of criminalizing small businessmen who may not know the age of people they employ on a casual basis. Now, that's bullshit, because if you're going to fill out a social security form, you need to have your employees' information. You just ask them for their ID card. It's really not that hard. Criminalize child labor. We can make speeches about how children should be in school until we are blue in the face. But unless we back up our words with legislation and the threat of criminal action, our children will continue skipping school and money. Now, I'm gonna go. If it was me, I couldn't like criminalize someone for giving a teenager part-time. That doesn't make any sense at all. Actually, if anything, I think that we should encourage more kids to go and get part-time jobs, help their parents, learn how hard it is to work. Like, if you're getting a job at 16 years old, it's probably not the greatest job at all, and might actually motivate you to study harder, because you know you don't want that life for you. So I'm gonna leave this law unchanged. My economic forecast. Good news, the global economy is doing well and having a positive effect on GDP. Our income went out because we spent like all that money on the state healthcare. Yes, sure, makes sense. Our relative GDP is still going down. Interest rates are rather still, so that's good. And the global economy took a plunge in this quarter, like a hard plunge. Like, they haven't taken one like that in more than a year. So that might be problematic. And other than that, basic banks, basic communication act, food standard, yeah, sure. Income still the same. Expenditure, like military spending, is really going. It's going way too much. And now, since we start the policy of state health service, it's already the third largest branch of military that's being spent on the money. So that's okay. The polls report if your approval rate is disappointing. Oh, we see, if we believe the polls, you would just get 45%. I mean, that's good, actually. We went from 36% to 45% in 3 months, so that's a double digits going up. I don't see how that might be a problem. And so unemployment, it seems to be. It's either, I don't understand if unemployment is supposed to be here and this is green, or if it's coming here, it gets green means there are no unemployment, and this is very confusing sometimes. It's still oil, the effectiveness can be shown as passive. Sure. The social credit are holding town hall meetings, and our credits aren't just BB. We need to fix this, either to growing our GDP, lower expenditure, or higher taxation. I'm not going to increase the taxation anymore, and probably just going to lower the expenditure, like on the military. The military needs to be. If I haven't, oh yes, I have actually. I know this is going to mess up, but I need to do it. So I need to just drop down to pretty much. I know this is going to be so upsetting, but I need to try this. So let's just apply changes to well trained and see how this goes. And okay, guys, so this is, I'm gonna save the game. So USA 2020 upcoming elections. Quick return to government. Okay. So, and welcome everyone for watching, and welcome to 1x Away, your site where we will mostly discuss academia, strategy games, word games, and everything related. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.